Okay, so we'll move to one of the most important palettes, so long as AutoCAD Mechanical is concerned. So arguably, next in importance to the draw tools will be the modify tools. So let's start with the first one, which is move. Okay, so say we have a sketch like this in place, right? And we want to move it to a different location. So we can just quickly click on move, and then we'll be asked to select the object. So I click on this object to select it, and then I hit enter on my keyboard, and I'll be asked for a base point, as in where do I want to grip. I want to move this circle, but I need a point to grip. So I would say that let me turn off the snap to grid, right? So I would say that, okay, I want to move this by the center. So I'll click on that center, and then what distance do I want to move it by, right? So let's say I want to move it only horizontally. So let me put on the ortho mode. So I move this, whatever distance I want, I can just put it in. Let's say I want to move it by horizontal distance of 80. And that is me moving that. So that is how to begin with, simply, that is how to move some objects in AutoCAD Mechanical. Truly very intuitive and simple. Okay, so if you click on this, you'd see that there are other things that you can do. Okay, so for copy, we have two of them. We have power copy, we have copy. At this level, we'll deal with copy. So just select copy in there instead of power copy. And then we'll be asked to select objects. So we select all of these objects and hit enter. We'll be asked to specify a base point. Say this time around, I want to move it by this edge. So I click, and then the distance here, let's say I want to put in 140. And that is that. So I can do another one, let's say 260. You know, mind you, it is measuring from this original position. The ones I've done, or just hit escape, and that is that. Now mind you, the shortcut for move is M, the shortcut for copy is CO, the shortcut for circle is C, so you don't confuse yourself with those. All right, so for rotate, click on rotate, and then say for instance that I want to select these. So I select, or I draw I draw the window, and then hit enter. Now for the base point, say I want to use this as the base point, and then I can move this around or just put in the angle of rotation. So in this case, I have 270 degrees, and that basically is how you rotate. Now for mirror, you'd always need a mirror line. So I can draw a line here. I'm going to use that as my mirror line. So I click on mirror, and then I will select all of this and hit enter. And then the first point of the mirror line, the second point of the mirror line. And then do I want to erase source objects? I'll say no. And that is how to use mirror. And then I have scale. So that is for enlargement. So I click on scale. I'll be asked for the objects to select. So I'll select all of this and hit enter. And then for the base point, I'll use the center of this. And then when I move my cursor, so that's basically the scale factor, right? So if I put in, let's say 0.5, it means that I am reducing it by half of the original size or whatever scale factor you want to put in. And then I have array, which is an interesting one to use. So if I had, let's say, a little bit of a tiny square like that, now I could go to array and then select that object, hit enter. Now I have this. So in here I have the total number of columns and the spacing in between them. So for the columns as is, I have 4 columns. I can change that to 3, right? So for the rows, I have 3. I can change that to 5. The spacing in between, I can change that to 10, or whatever adjustments that you want to make. You can change that to 20. Whatever adjustment that you want to make, you can always make them in here, and then you are okay. So that's how to use array. Now for array, you see that we have path array, we have polar array. So what we've done is rectangular array. So for polar array, that works something like this. So let's first draw, let's say, a circle, and then put, let's draw a line that goes that way. And then I can go to polar array, which is this, right? And then I'll select the object and hit enter. Now it has to specify the center of the circle, and then I have this. So the number of items, I have 6, angle between is 60, so I can change this to 9, and then recalculation will be done for me. Number of rows is 1. You can decide to increase the number of rows and on, so you can play around with this and see how it works. Now in the draw tools down here, you have a spline if you need to use a spline. So I'll click on spline, and then for spline, just I'll have to turn off this. So just click around to create something like a path, and then when you are finished, enter. Now I can draw a circle maybe here, and then go back to array and select path array. Now I'll be asked to select the object that I want to array. So I'll select the circle and hit enter. I'll be asked to select path, and I select this path, and this can be created for me as well. Okay, so that's that with array, and then we can go to trim. So I go to trim. Trim basically means I want to cut something off. So if, say for instance, that I had a line that goes this way, and I want to trim, let's say, these parts off, I can always go to, let's say, click on trim, and then I bring my cursor here, then just click and click, and basically that is how trim works. Now the opposite of trim is extend. So let me drag this back, and then maybe drag this also downwards like that. Now in here I can click on this arrow and then select extend. When I put my cursor here, it will extend this to the next line. If I do this, nothing will occur because there is nothing there for it to extend to. But if I put this here, it will extend in that direction. So that is how to use extend as well. And then we have fillet and chamfer. So for fillet, that is used to create round, so I click on fillet, and then for the radius I would put in radius of, let's say, 2, and hit enter, and then I'll be asked to select first object, so I'll click on it, click on the second object, and that creates a fillet for me. So first object, second object. Let me change this to maybe 4, and then enter, and first object, second object. So basically that is how you create a fillet for yourself. If I selected or if I checked insert dimension, and I selected first object and second object, now I'd have the opportunity to dimension right away, which is an interesting feature for us to use. And then so let's draw another one here. Now I click on the arrow and I have a chamfer. So if I click on chamfer again, I'll be asked to put in the distance. If you look at this here, it gives you the horizontal distance and the vertical distance. So let me put in 2 on either side. So 2, 2, and enter, and then 2 and enter. So of course I'll be asked to put in the first, and then the second, and that is my chamfer again. If I were to put in, let's say, or if I were to check insert dimension and try that again, then I can have this and have that, which is interesting. If I uncheck, let's say, trim geometry, which I don't want to do, and I did the same thing, now you see that the geometry will not be trimmed. You still have the white lines there, and that's not what I want. So trim geometry is what I actually need. Okay, so once I'm done, now mind you, there are 2 methods. There's the distance method, and then there is the angle method. So you can try the angle method as well if you wanted. So I have, let's say, 2 and 45. So you can click here and click there, and then that is that. And of course, there are other dimensioning methods that you can use, right? So you click on this, click on this, and then maybe you can select maybe the angular dimension if that's what you want. So this and that. So this line and that line, and then now I have it dimensioned like this for me. Okay, so I'm done with that. I can just hit escape, and then that brings me back here, and I'm fine. So I have erase, so I click on, okay, so for erase, you just click on erase, and then you click on the item that you want to erase. So you click on the item and then you hit enter. So click on power erase, and then I can either click, or whichever way you want to select your object is up to you. You can click, or you can use any of the windows, and then once you are done selecting the objects, you hit enter, power erase, you click on the object to select it, and you hit enter. Right, so that is how to use the erase tool. Okay, so let's draw a rectangle like this. When I select this rectangle, you see that it's a continuous object. Now if I were to click on explode like this, and I come back to the rectangle, you see that the rectangle would have been broken down now into its constituent line segments. So if you wanted to explode any polyline feature, so let's say we know that if we drew anything with a polyline, right, like that, they are put together. Now if I go to explode here and click on that, now when I come back and I click on this, you see that I have the individual lines. So that is the use of explode. And then finally we have offset. So let me just draw a line here like that. Now shortcut for offset is obviously O. So you click on offset, then you'll be asked to specify the offset distance. So I'll just maybe enter 10 as my offset distance, and then I'll be asked to select the object to offset. So I'll just click on this, and then it will ask me for the side. I want to put this on the right side, so I can can select this and go and put it on the left side, right? So left or right, I can do the offset. Okay, so basically this is an introduction to the modify tools, and this should help us to quickly get up to speed on how to draw and draw well.